What's up, guys? My name's Anthony, and in this video, we have a few important topics for you surrounding the future of Bitcoin. First, we'll talk about a new article I found on Cointelegraph earlier today. Then we'll discuss the recent correlation cryptocurrency has to the US stock market, explain why Bitcoin needs to shine within the next 12 to 24 months, and give you an analysis of the Bitcoin price chart. But before we get into it, I want to thank all our new and returning subscribers for your continued support and explain what we do here for our first-time viewers. Crypto Ride exists to help you responsibly navigate the unpredictable world of cryptocurrency through news videos, technical analysis, and project review videos. So if you're passionate about incorporating cryptocurrency into your overall wealth building strategy, then make sure to subscribe to our channel in the bottom right corner of your screen before you go. All right, let's get into it. Bitcoin halving will be make or break for stock to flow model, which is something that Plan B created. And if you looked at my thumbnail, you probably realize that, in my opinion, and really the truth of the matter is, the Bitcoin halving and what happens in the months and year directly after it will really be make or break for Bitcoin as an asset, in my opinion. And according to the stock to flow model, which you can see right here on the screen, Plan B thinks Bitcoin could hit roughly 30,000 by the end of 2020. Now, while this is possible and everything theoretically, historically points to Bitcoin doing this, of course, there's no guarantee. And on all my videos, I make sure I say that to you guys because I don't want you to get brought into cryptocurrency thinking that it's definitely going to make you millions. But theoretically, it is possible. And based on this stock to flow chart, it's possible for Bitcoin to get that high by the end of 2020. But things are not all good because Bitcoin has started correlating to the US stock market as of recently, and we're going to take a look at this. So let me just read here for a second for you. Continuing, Plan B responded to queries regarding Bitcoin's correlation to traditional stocks. A key concern among many traders is that a repeat of March could still occur. And back in March, as you probably know, Bitcoin shed 60% of its value just in one day as the stock market crashed. Plan B argued that the current correlation was a result of the broader coronavirus crisis and not a permanent feature of Bitcoin. His argument was that during crisis, everything is correlated. Here was the initial tweet where he said he expects it to 10x 1 to 2 years after the halving. And then someone went on to post this chart that I just definitely want to share with you because I've mentioned this correlation on my channel a few times, but I want you to see it. So the two lines you're looking at, the blue and the red, obviously represent cryptocurrency and the stock market. And you can see the percent losses that they suffered. And Bitcoin, I'm sure, must be the blue, and the red being the stock market, which actually performed somewhat better. But you can really see, when we talk about a correlation, you can see that they're really mirroring each other right now, which is interesting and kind of off-putting if you're a cryptocurrency enthusiast or investor, because cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, is supposed to thrive in times of chaos. And lately, as you can see, they're both starting to bounce back. But the scary thing is, in my opinion, and I want to show you an article, but I don't believe that the stock market crash is over. For me, I'm holding a fair amount of cash right now, ready to invest, but I've still got it on the sidelines. You know, and when I say ready to invest, just for the record, I am looking at stocks and I am looking at crypto a little bit, but I personally already have most all the money I intend to have in cryptocurrency. Let's take a look at this article from CCN and talk about why we haven't even sniffed the bottom yet. New data suggesting that the stocks could go even lower. And I want to point out a few facts for you. So hardly any retail investors capitulated during the stock market rout. Analysts from Vanguard Group revealed that over 90% of retail investors, which are buyers like you and me, not big companies, not institutions, but regular people, that they stayed the course and didn't trade in response to the stock market decline. So comment in the comment section. When the stocks market went down, did you sell anything during that time in February and March? Or were you able to hold on? Or for that matter, did you sell any of your cryptocurrency during that time? How did you handle that? And then this goes on to say, of the people who did trade, 70% chose to buy stocks. So that's an interesting figure, and it suggests that people aren't really scared yet. When you talk about capitulation, that's a point when investors become truly afraid and they think that the stocks will continue to fall And as one person sells, it triggers a domino effect, and you see a whole bunch of people sell, and it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy where they think the market's going to go down, and then it actually does because of all the selling. Mark Cuban also commented about this. He doesn't think traders understand the possible depths we could find ourselves in. He was stressing in a podcast I recently heard on Pomp's podcast, shout out to Anthony Pompliano, and he was arguing that the longer the economy is shut down, the longer it will take for the stock market to truly recover afterwards. He says, I think people are naturally optimistic right now in terms of the market. I just don't think they are really factoring in what we are going to see on the other side. And there's another comment I really just had to make about this for you. This upward movement we're seeing in the stock market right now is a direct result of the propping up that the U.S. government and the Federal Reserve has been doing in their stimulus plan and all the actions they've been taking. Now, eventually, that will have to stop, and when it does, we're going to see the true results of all the money they printed, potentially see some insane inflation, and potentially see the value of the U.S. dollar really change in some way, potentially for the worse here. And then the question remains, what does that mean for Bitcoin? And while we're comparing stocks to Bitcoin, I just want to show you a few things. Here is the all-time high. We came down as low as, it looks like, about $10,700. Then we came all the way back up to over 17K. Now, some people probably thought that the correction was over at that point, but bear markets have a tendency to keep going. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later, we saw a new lower low, which was, oh, by the way, down to $6,000. So we're talking about a much bigger drop here. And that type of thing is potentially possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but it is potential in the stock market. And the question remains, how will Bitcoin be affected by that? And the timing of this is just so crazy with the Bitcoin halving now in roughly 25 days. This pandemic, it's all just happening. It's such an interesting time in the world of cryptocurrency with the halving around. The thing that I want to just point out is we had a downtrend that started on February 12th. So this was a couple months long, roughly 2 months to be precise. And, that could be considered more of a medium-term downtrend. It wasn't just a week or two. This was a few months. So the important thing that I finally want to mention in this video that I've been watching for so long and tweeting about, if you follow me on Twitter, is that we did finally break through. These are daily candles. So this is a close here above the downtrend. The candle from yesterday just closed as well. We stayed above it. This blue line is the 50-day moving average. So you can see we're still sitting above that and potentially rising right now. We'll have to see as Bitcoin sits at $7,069 at the time of this recording. But we are potentially looking bullish. I really hope that we are able to break out and stay out. Like the video and let me know in the comment section if you are bullish or bearish on Bitcoin in the coming weeks leading up to the halving. Do you think we're going up, or do you think we're going to stay sideways or capitulate if the stock market happens to capitulate and go a lot lower? What do you think is happening next? Aside from that, I want to wish you health. Thank you again for watching and enjoy the ride. See you next time.